At 6, Hurricane Melissa has just slammed into Jamaica with winds of more than 185 miles an hour. It is the most powerful storm anywhere in the world this year. This is what it looks like from space, a rare Category 5 hurricane that's being described as Jamaica's storm of the century. Almost 3 million people live on the island. Torrential rain, landslides and flash floods are expected as people are told to stay inside.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave. Don't bet against Melissa. It is a bet we can't win.
Thousands of British tourists seek shelter too, like this family who flew out on a half-term holiday. Hurricane Melissa has just slammed into Jamaica with ferocious winds of around 185 miles an hour and torrential rain. It is the most powerful storm ever to hit the island. These are live images now, and it's a Category 5 storm. It's now moving slowly across the island, where it's expected to unleash catastrophic floods and put lives at risk. Hundreds of thousands of people are already without power. Millions of people have been told to stay inside, away from windows, under a mattress if needs be. Well, this is the path that the storm has been taking. It has moved slowly across the Caribbean over the past week, gathering strength as it went. Once it's passed over Jamaica, it'll head towards Cuba. Well, let's go to Jamaica now. Our correspondent Nick Davis is there. What is it like, Nick?
Well, the winds are picking up, and we know that this is just making its way across the island. I mean, you were talking about what's happening, and I can feel the anxiety in my body. I can feel it in my chest because, you know, this is WhatsApp messages being shared with my family members. I'm of Jamaican descent, and my auntie is in the path of the storm. My cousin is working for the power company. This one hits hard because it's so close. And I know as journalists we're supposed to be unbiased, but you know this is where my forebears came from, and so because of that, you know, I'm reporting about places which I know really, really well. You know, Black River, and watching the sort of inundation of the market. I've been down there. I've reported from down there to sort of see Newmarket. Me and my dad bought an old Land Rover down there when I first came to Jamaica. So many of these places I have a connection with, and it's so difficult to see how badly they're being hit. But Jamaicans are very resilient. That's part of it's almost a second national motto. People have a way of bouncing back, but this storm is going to hit hard. And it's not just going to be a cleanup, which is going to take a day or a week. The scars are going to be not only in the landscape, but I always feel because of the amount of time it's taken, it's going to be quite traumatic to deal with because the anxiety has just been there all of these many, many days. It's been so difficult to deal with, and we're not even through the half of it yet.
Nick Davis, live there from Jamaica. Thank you. And as Nick was just saying, Hurricane Melissa has been moving very slowly towards Jamaica, gathering more and more strength for the past week. Justin Rolat reports now on its progress and its power.
Hurricane Melissa is now hitting Jamaica. The country has been warned to expect winds gusting up to 200 miles an hour, storm surges of up to 4 metres and a metre of rain in some places.
The winds are just picking up. We are just starting to get some heavy rainfall now.
It has been an agonising wait. People have been warned the storm of the century, the worst storm on record to hit the country, would make landfall just after dawn, more than 5 hours ago.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave. I've been saying for 1 week, don't bet against Melissa. It is a bet we can't win.
Because this is just the beginning. Storm hunters flew inside the 11-mile wide eye of Storm Melissa yesterday.
Being in that plane was reminiscent of being on a roller coaster in the dark, and that you don't know which way you're going to go, up, down, left, right. The turbulence was pretty significant. I definitely used my motion sickness bag multiple times.
The most ferocious winds of all, with gusts of up to 200 miles an hour, are in the thousands of foot-high walls of cloud that encircle this oasis of calm. But the storm itself is moving slowly, little more than a brisk walk. That will maximise damage, warn weather experts.
For Jamaica, they have never been impacted by such a powerful hurricane in history. Hurricane Melissa is the picture of what can be expected in the future. Very intense and devastating hurricanes with catastrophic impacts.
Jamaicans have been told to take shelter. The shelves in many shops were left empty as people stockpiled food and water. 3 people are already known to have died and more than 200,000 are without power. The official weather warning says the strongest winds, when they arrive, are likely to cause what it calls total structural failure. They are likely to destroy everything in their path. Justin Rolat, BBC News.
Well, around 5,000 British nationals are thought to be in Jamaica right now, many of them on half-term holidays, like the Chapmans, who are also celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. We have been speaking to Rebecca Chapman, who's there with her husband and 3 children.
We arrived very late Thursday, and almost as we got here, things were starting to be put in place. So some of the restaurants were closed as soon as we arrived. The beaches were closed when we arrived. And subsequently, as the days have gone on, they've shut down more and more of the hotel. Most of it is now boarded up. It's a very colonial building with great big columns all around it and huge big chandeliers. And they've been sort of securing all of those, tying the chandeliers to the posts. We were moved from our ground floor room, which was about 10 metres from the sea, up to a first floor room, obviously because of risk of storm surge and flooding. And my children have been moved onto the 3rd floor in their room. So they are trying to take as many precautions as they can to keep us safe. But it's getting a bit wild now.
I will just take you to this edge where you may be able to see a bit more. I'm certainly not going to go out. Maybe up to see the rain is definitely coming in now. Trees are beginning to come down. 1 tree falling there already, and actually this is nowhere near the worst. Nowhere near.
It's pretty scary. We've lost power a couple of times, but at the minute it's back on and we've got some Wi-Fi, so we're staying in contact with our loved ones and sort of trying to make sure that they know that we're safe. We're in a much better position than lots of people, so our thoughts are kind of going out to the people that are trying to keep this place going. But it's pretty mad, so yeah, we're just going to watch this space. I don't think the worst is here yet, and we'll see how it progresses.
Rebecca Chapman, who is waiting out the storm with her family in the hotel that they've been moved to, and we do hope to speak to her again once the worst is over. Well, hurricanes form as warm, moist air rises from the ocean surface. Winds begin to spin. Storms like this tend to form in the tropics when the temperature of the sea surface is at least 27 degrees Celsius. That's when there's enough energy for the storm to gather strength. And crucially, the wind around the storm needs to remain steady, not changing direction all the time. The reason that Hurricane Melissa is so powerful is because the waters in the Western Caribbean are currently close to 30 degrees Celsius, around 2 degrees higher than normal for this time of year. And the winds have indeed remained very steady. It has all meant that this hurricane has been able to keep building and strengthening. It's also a very slow-moving storm, which means it's lingering over particular areas for a long time and could cause far more damage. Well, our climate editor, Justin Rolat, is with me. Can we say for sure that this is climate change?
Well, as you described, tropical storms, or storms generally, are really complex systems, and it's almost impossible to say for certain what factors allowed them to develop in the way that they do. What we can say, the science is indicating that we're not going to see an increase in the number of tropical storms, these hurricanes, cyclones and typhoons that, as you say, form over tropical waters. What the science is suggesting, though, is that those storms that do form are likely to be more intense. And that's, as you hinted, the warmer water delivers more energy to the storm. The warmer air can contain more moisture. So you get more ferocious winds, you get more rain, and because of rising sea levels, you're also likely to see bigger storm surges and therefore more coastal flooding. And there is another pattern, this slow moving. The feature of Melissa is that it's moving very slowly. Now, that seems to be a developing pattern. It's not clear what's driving that pattern. But as you say, slower storms deliver more rain over a smaller area, mean people are exposed to those incredibly strong winds, 200 miles an hour that we're expecting in Jamaica, for longer, and therefore are more devastating. So whilst climate change is playing a role, it is not actually increasing the number of these storms.
You can really see the strength of the wind, can't you, in these images that we're getting? I mean, the strongest storm anywhere in the world this year alone.
And one of the top 10 strongest hurricanes on record. Really, really powerful storm.
Justin Morella, thank you.